Radio DePaul, Chicago's college connection.
My father spent 3 years restoring this car. It is his love. It is his passion.
I'm Michael Cera, and human skin is my passion.
I learned to feel things I'd never felt before. Love, jealousy, passion for disemboweling.
Look at all the passion on that wall.
Well, jazz flute has always been a small passion of mine.
It's a bathroom.
It's not just a bathroom, David. It's a passion project.
My passion project. Destroying someone else's passion project.
This is Passion Project with your host, Peyton Baisden.
And hello, and welcome to the Passion Project. It's Sunday, everybody's favorite day. Today's actually 6/7 for those at home. It's pretty exciting. And I'm Girl Peyton. Just kidding. My name is Charlotte Ike, and I'm hosting Passion Project today. And it's going to get really exciting in here. It's going to get really exciting in here really super fast. And that's because the special guest today is actually someone people would be familiar with if they're familiar with the show, Passion Project, or as I like to call it, the Pash. That'll catch on.
It's been said.
It's been said. Yeah, so our lovely guest today is actually former host of the show.
Former. I've been fired, by the way.
Peyton Baisden.
Hey, everybody. Hey, hello. Howdy. Good morning. I say good morning as it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I had a coffee, so that constitutes morning for me because I woke up.
I'd say it.
And
I
isn't
haven't
that a
even had
beautiful
breakfast.
thing? Yeah. Oh, hello. We should get breakfast after this.
I like this plan.
Brunch. But yeah, it's me, the former host of Passion Project. I think that's technically true, like life-wise. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, great to be here. I'm a fan.
I'm excited. I'm excited about everything Passion Project has to offer us today. And it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good, and it's gonna be really great.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton, I don't know if you're familiar with the structure of the show. But we're gonna get into your passion. But first we have some questions, some warm-up questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Passion Probe, working title.
Yeah. Still working on that.
Still working.
I haven't been sold.
And we're just gonna do some questions to kind of, get you comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ready for that.
I am readier than I'll ever be right now.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. Well, cats or dogs? So hard hitter first.
This is a difficult question to answer. I will say historically, my answer is I prefer dogs.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm not in a position in my life where I think a dog would be good for me. Is that crazy to say?
Nah.
So if you made me pick one today, I'd say cat.
Oh, like to get?
Yeah. If you're making me get one now,
okay.
I'd get a cat.
I see. They're more independent.
Right. Which I need in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anyone to rely on me.
Ugh.
Famously unreliable. So if a dog were to trust me, I would hate to betray that trust. And I wouldn't, but that just means I'd spend so much time on the dog. And then what if I grow to resent it slowly?
Ooh.
And I don't want that. That's really poison to my relationship with this dog.
I think that's a really mature way to look at it. I think that's important.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't consider the sort of relationship they have with their pets and like the inherent level of codependency there.
A dog is more like a baby than a cat.
Yep.
Cat's more like a teen.
Exactly. And famously, when I talk about all the kids I want to have, I'm going to adopt teens.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing you should know about me that I'm deciding in this moment right now.
That covers our second question.
Yeah. I am looking to adopt anyone if you have a child. Not a pet, though. I can't do a pet, but I can do a human baby.
Easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In many ways. I can talk to it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't talk to a dog. I mean, you can, but like, are you really talking? Again, when that communication level isn't there.
I mean, it's all over.
It's all over.
Well, our next question is, what's your favorite holiday to celebrate with all your new kids?
Oh, well, if I'm with my kids especially, I feel bad saying this. My favorite holiday is Christmas, which
it's the best holiday.
It's a good one. And like the thing about Christmas though is like it feels like it's too good, it's too easy. So like as a child I always used to say Easter because I'm like, yeah, that's
Sorry, I
different
didn't
and
mean to be
niche.
shocked.
No, it's fine. Like, because Easter has all the same elements of Christmas, just on like a lower level.
Yeah, I guess that's true. There's magic, there's church,
Right.
and there's some sort of gift giving.
Light gift giving, which I mean makes sense canonically as well, because like Christmas is the birth of Jesus, but Easter's only the rebirth of Jesus.
Right,
know,
so you
like-
you get less gifts.
Yeah, it's
more
like less,
candy.
even though it is more important in lore. I don't know.
But I guess Easter's the end of Lent, right?
yes,
So
that
it's
is
about
true.
giving up, not about
Right.
getting.
Right,
You
right.
consider that.
Yeah, and dare I say, Christmas also should be about giving.
Yeah,
The spirit of the season.
first to say it.
Yeah, you only get what you give. The New Radicals said that.
Mm.
But also like, you get. What's Michael Bublé say? You only get.
I
what
would
you
not
give.
know.
Really? You
No.
don't go deep on Michael Bublé? Let's fix that. I
You're
think
right.
he'd be delighted by
You're
his
right.
work. It's good stuff.
Big fan of his bubbly ads.
Those are good. And again, give that person a raise.
Mm-hmm.
You give Mr. Bubbly a raise, not
Yeah.
Mr. Bublé.
Bubbly.
Mr. Whoever ad bubbly guy is.
Yeah, I like it. But so you like birth and rebirth.
Yeah.
Do you like your birthday?
I love my birthday. It's the day I was born. If
Like-
you know, you know.
Do you like to celebrate it though, or are you kind of like?
Oh, I'm really bad
it's
at
my
it.
Birthday.
Here's what I do. And this is very, if you want a glimpse into my sick and twisted mind.
I do.
Every single
what
year
the
on my
pros are about.
birthday, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable like celebrating my own birthday. I don't feel like comfortable taking charge on that and being
Mhm.
like, I'm throwing a party, I'm doing this. So then I have this like expectation that the people in my life will celebrate it for me. But then when when nothing happens because I've made no effort to make anything happen, I get sad. I'm like, wow, it's my birthday and I'm
Interesting.
doing nothing. And I'm
I'm-
like, you want to know why I'm doing nothing? It's because I didn't plan anything.
Well, I'm clocking this, and I'm keeping this in my pocket.
Yeah. And it's like, so maybe I'm going to take charge. Hopefully, come my birthday next year, I will have a sort of robust living arrangement in
Mhm.
which I can entertain
Mm.
dozens to
Right.
hundreds of people. And that would be great fun for me. One thing about me that I haven't really gotten a chance to show off, I would love to throw various parties, functions, dinner parties, get-togethers, brunches,
I bet
movie
you'd be
nights.
great at it.
I would love to do that. It's just my situation over the past few years has
Right.
made that nigh impossible. The gatherings have had to have been very intimate,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't crave that kind of intimacy. I crave the sort
Big.
of surface level,
Yeah.
widespread.
With games, probably.
There would be so many games,
You're good at cultivating a vibe.
right?
So I think you could do it.
Right. And the vibe would be immaculate.
Yeah.
One would say. One could say. One should say, honestly. Talk up my parties before they even happen.
Yep, I agree.
Oh.
And then another question for you
Sure.
is, what's your favorite number? I actually really want to know this one about you.
Really? Do you know?
I have a guess,
Yeah. It's probably right.
but I can't remember. But to be honest, I can't remember if I was told if I was told this, and that's why I have the guess. And I'm like when you don't remember.
Sure. I'm going to assume. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what it is so
Mhm.
you don't need to worry about it. Because I think it'd be really funny if you feel so confident about it and I'm like, what is it? And you're like, 7. I'm like, no.
No, it would never be 7.
It would never be 7. And then you can be like, yes, I knew that because I figured this thing out about you, even if I have told you in the past.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Speaking of which, it's the number 4,
Oh, you just seem it.
right?
Like the 4 is blonde.
This feels right.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 is such a good number. I think I guess I'm a fan of even numbers. I like the way you can split them down. I like the way they can divide. 4 makes a square. Classic shape. Not as strong as a triangle, not as strong as 3, but like 4 is a triangle with options, you know?
Hmm.
You can break it down. See, if you move side of a triangle, it collapses. If you move a side of a square, it becomes a triangle. Therefore, stronger. Think about it.
Interesting.
Also 4, there's a little bit of wordplay you can do with that, and it's a homonym, so that's exciting.
Oh yeah.
If you want to get crazy.
It's the first non-prime number, right?
Yes.
1, 2, and 3 are all prime.
Mm-hmm. When you think about it, isn't that crazy? And yeah, what was my other thought? Oh, well, 8's also a homonym, but like, actually, I do have more fun with 8 wordplay than 4. But guess how they're related? twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Well, it's like Mrs. 4 and Mr. 4, and then their
Mhm.
daughter 8.
Hello, right? I wonder how numbers reproduce.
And then 6 and 8 went on a date, and they came back with 48. You ever heard that one?
No,
That's how I learned that in school.
that's awesome. I had this idea in school. I would sit and look at my times table. And I think this was the thing that happened where kids memorize times tables. But that was never an expectation of mine. But
You
I
didn't
always
do like time tests?
no, not really. But I really was waiting for the day where they were going to be like, you just
Do
have to
it.
recite this from
Mhm.
memory. And then I understood how multiplication works. I'm like, I don't actually need to remember these. I can just do math.
You can do math. Wow. Is the day it all changed?
Yeah, and that's when I learned how to do
Wow.
math. I took calculus.
Really? I
Yeah.
stopped after pre-calc. I haven't taken a math class since sophomore year of high school.
That's really beautiful. And you feel well adjusted and ready for the world?
Nope.
Awesome.
All right. I got one last probe for you, my friend.
Sure.
This I think is the most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be a fish or a bird?
This is a good question. What a good question. Wow. So, okay. My answer to you is bird.
Wow. Okay,
Um,
actually, okay, yeah.
Because some will say,
You're so
I might be
classically
some.
yourself.
Yeah. Some will say, like, you know, bird seems like the easy answer, but it seems like the obvious answer. It seems like the right answer, you know? Like,
Yeah.
flying is magical. And to get more specific, I sometimes often answer is like, I would like to be a duck so then I can also swim good and like go underwater and do that, but also fly.
Oh, so you want to
and
cheat?
walk.
You want to be the bird? You want to be the fish?
Well,
The fish bird?
Sure. Yeah, I don't think that's cheating. That's perfectly
You're right.
allowed within
My
the
bad.
rules and
Fine.
parameters of
My
this
bad.
question. And I think what this goes to show is that on any opinion-based question, there is a right answer or a best answer. And it is your job as a human to find that.
And my answer's wrong. So shoot.
Why? What's you?
Because I want to be a fish.
Which one?
I don't even know.
Sure.
I want to be one. I like the one with the light.
Oh, like an anglerfish?
Yes. Well, I'm like tickled by the fact that we've never been to the bottom.
But
Of
you
the
would be
ocean.
there. Well, I was just gonna say, would you have fun at the bottom of the ocean?
No, probably not. I don't know though. Maybe there's I mermaids.
Oh, yeah.
Believe
Is-
in them.
Then are you locking that in? Is your fish a mermaid? Would you be a mermaid?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful
perfect.
hair.
Right.
Probably
And
an
fish
amazing
tail.
voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It all works. You could be the Little Mermaid. If you know, you know.
I'm so small. But this isn't even about me. But your answer is duck
Or
or swimming bird.
yeah, or like genuinely, I don't think I'd have too much fun. Like, because I will say, sorry to all the duck lovers out there, not my favorite bird. That's an answer of practicality.
Yeah.
If I could be like an eagle, that'd be cool. Or a vulture. I like vultures.
Vultures are always fun in
Albatrosses,
movies.
Big wings. Yeah, I want a bird that can really fly. You know. I know albatrosses really fly.
Mm.
I wouldn't do like an ostrich. I do love penguins. If penguins could fly,
Oh,
that'd be
you
the easy
are
answer.
so penguin.
right.
Maybe it's because your name starts with P, but you are so penguin.
It works. It makes sense. I've always liked penguins. I have a penguin stuffed animal,
Aw.
emperor penguin.
And you like to wear suits,
Yes, like
so you'd fit
penguins
right
do.
in.
I want you to know I went to a party once, and that's the anecdote. And it was you were supposed to dress up like an animal, so I dressed up like a penguin, and I just sort of wore like a suit. It was like black and white, and everyone's like, "What are you?"
Was it a bird party?
No.
Oh.
It was just an animal.
Just animals.
Just be an animal.
Oh yeah. So
But everyone's like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
wait, I would have instantly been like, oh, penguin, because it's
And
an
I need
animal
this.
party.
Yeah.
You have to think about the context.
Mm-hmm. Well, because also like spiritually as a bird, I've been told I'm a flamingo, but I also really feel like a peacock. Neither flamingos fly, I believe, but like I've never seen a peacock fly. But I do.
I
think
don't
it's a
think they
gorgeous
do.
bird. I
Wait,
would like.
flamingos fly?
They have
That
to.
cannot be true.
They have to. I'm gonna consult my archive.
And you love shrimp.
I do. Guys, one thing about me, I do love shrimp. All right. I'm looking at birdspot.co.uk.
Okay, that looks like I can see the picture, and I'm seeing it fly.
This looks like this is a flamingo flying in this photo. This article claims that flamingos are some of the most unusual birds in the world, which might be true. Flamingos are large birds, measuring up to 150 centimeters in height and weighing up to 3.5 kilograms. Wow.
Huh.
This is almost diminutive when compared to the world's heaviest flying birds, though. Swans, vultures, albatrosses. Siamese flamingos don't find taking off very easy, so they gotta run to get a head start. But yeah, so they aren't good at takeoff, but they are good at they can fly.
What was your favorite animal as a kid? Was it penguin?
No, great question. So I don't know when it started because my favorite animal currently is the walrus, and I would say that's also still true. And it was true for a while because I remember I painted a walrus in like 4th grade, 5th grade maybe, but it was a while. It was elementary school, so like maybe you could say walrus, but like before that it was giraffe and like penguin were big.
This is really that would be a Peyton animal trio, I think.
Yeah, that's sort of like rounds it out. Now in my old age, I'm quite taken with polar bears. Whenever I'm in
their
the
resilience.
area, I'm in the area of the Lincoln Park Zoo. I see if there's a polar bear out because they're hard to find. They aren't usually out, but then when they are out, they're doing shenanigans.
You got to go to the Omaha Zoo.
I have to. I've discussed this at length with
on the Pash
previous Nebraska residents and zoo people passionate about zoos. So if I'm ever out there, I'll check it out. Because do they have a walrus there? The only place I've ever seen a walrus in real life is SeaWorld.
I think so.
And I'm going to say something, and we're going to leave it there. When I was a kid and I went to SeaWorld, I had fun.
Oh, me too. SeaWorld was so fun as a kid. And the one I went to had a Sesame Street water park. I met Elmo in my swimsuit. I was in a tankini, and I met Elmo.
Wait, you can't do that anywhere else.
No, and I don't know how it worked, because they were in the water, but the costumes were furry. Like, I'm kind of like,
yeah, they're all fur.
I'm kind of like, ew.
Oh, God.
In post, I'm kind of like.
That's what I'm going to do with my BFA, is I'm going to be water Elmo.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'd like that.
And speaking of being a kid.
Yeah, I was a kid once.
That brings us to your passion.
Good Lord. Yeah.
What are you passionate about, Peyton Baisden?
A great many things. I like stuff. One thing you should know about me. But something that I think about often, and I feel like isn't talked about enough, or maybe it is, I don't know. It's not talked about enough in my circles. Is the 2007 reality series Kid Nation. It aired on CBS for one season. Only got one season for reasons you'll find out soon enough, because perhaps it wasn't the greatest show ever made. But to me, it's quite a novel thing. Yeah, it's a TV show.
And did you watch it on TV?
No, I was because
you were only
too
3,
small.
right?
Yeah, I would have been 3 years old. Maybe they would have put me on the show. Hello.
Were there kids that young on the show?
5 was 8, I believe, was the youngest.
Okay.
But
you have seen it, or do you just know about it? Like, is it lost media?
It's fairly lost, but it is all on YouTube.
Oh.
Pretty much, most of it is on YouTube. So yes, I've seen the show post 2007.
You've seen what you can have, yeah.
I've seen what they'll let me watch, but it is kind of buried because it has a complex legacy, which to explain the premise to you,
yes.
I think you'll immediately start to see the holes. Kid Nation is a reality competition series. It's not necessarily a competition series. It is, in essence, a social experiment of a reality TV show where they took 40 kids and they put them in the desert for 40 days to build their own society. It's been likened to the hit novel Lord of the Flies. I've never read it, so I can't say.
Me neither, but I use the analogy all the time.
Right. So if you've heard Lord of the Flies, seen it, you can see Lord of the Flies. It's probably on audiobook.
Probably a movie,
you can
too.
hear it. Listen to Lord of the Flies, I guess. Learn something. New Netflix series, by the way. I've heard good things about it.
Oh, really?
Featuring child actors also. And then we were having a discussion about the morality of using children in media and what that is and how to do that in a trauma-informed way, which guess what didn't happen on Kid Nation? I digress. So they took 40 kids, they put them in the desert, and they said, make a society. And the way every episode was structured is sometimes they'd have an overarching thesis of this episode we're going to tackle this aspect of religion, this aspect of society. So I said, there's one where it's this episode's all about religion, and they're showing these kids arguing about religion, and it's whoa.
Of all different backgrounds, I'd assume.
Yes, because that was something they intentionally did in the casting, is they were trying to fill quote unquote archetypes or stereotypes and see how they could use that for content, and they like made narratives. I mean, reality TV does this all the time, of like, here's this character, like we want like Olivia specifically. We're gonna make her out to be the bad guy, even though like she was just kind of chill.
And she's a kid in this scenario.
And yes, also they're children.
In this scenario, she's a kid.
So yeah, but yeah, it's so the episode, and then they do a challenge to they like there is a competition aspect. They were split into 4 teams: green, blue, red, yellow, and they would do some sort of challenge. Whoever won the challenge got to be the upper class of Bonanza City. That's where this was at. There's also
Did
like
the kids name it?
no, because there's also this other like framing device for the entire show. It's like, hey guys, you're going to Bonanza City. This was a town until it collapsed, and you guys are going to bring it back to life. And every single episode opens up with the city, the town council, their leaders. They read from a journal of the people of Old Bonanza, and they're like, this week you'll do this thing, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
So they do a challenge, and whoever wins, whoever gets first place, whoever completes the task first, gets to be the upper class.
For that week.
For that week. They get $1 and they don't have to do any work. Whoever gets second, I believe, who are they? They're like I believe they're like the merchants, they run the stores. They get 50 cents a week. Third place are the cooks. They get, I believe, 25 cents a week, and they have to cook everything. And then if you're in last place, you get 10 cents a week, and you're a laborer, and you do chores. You have to do all the chores.
Wow.
It's beautiful. But anyways, and then every week, new challenge. Every week, new thing. They also give out a gold star to the best kid. The city council votes, and if they get a solid gold star, that's worth $20,000.
So the city council is not kids.
It is.
Okay.
They are kids. In the first episode, all the kids arrive, and they pre-pick who they want to be on the city council, and those kids get helicoptered in. They come in on a helicopter, and they drop them off. And they're like, here's your city council.
So I'd say for a reality show, it has a pretty complex structure. Like, you have to buy into a lot of things.
Yeah, because it isn't necessarily competition. It isn't necessarily,
Because no one's getting voted off. No,
you can't get voted off. You can leave. The children did leave because they're like, what is this? I don't want to be here. Which has led to some of the funnier moments, because the show is framed as if these kids have no adult supervision.
But there had to be.
There was, but the question was there enough? Because you'll see, the problem is all of this, just laying this out here, it sounds like a kind of lame reality TV show. Just like a sort of nothing burger reality
I
TV
guess
show.
It seems like you're kind of watching a game, like kids play.
But like when you take into account that like this is children, everything just gets 10 times crazier. Because like in a reality TV show, they're doing standard things, but then like in this show, you get they'll like to get a shot of like a kid like sitting outside of a building crying because they're a child and this is hard.
Yeah.
But like they'll just film it. Like they're not helping the child.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is good content.
Well, and like adult supervision, obviously there had to have been someone there, but not enough. Is it like Big Brother or like Love Island, where they are being filmed consistently all the time, and like there is just footage, like they are living in they're living in Bonanza City and they're doing this? Or was it kind of like maybe like, did it like, or are they like, is it a little bit more staged?
That is a great question, and it is highly debated, because that is the question at the center of
Kid Nation.
Of Kid Nation, and specifically a lot of the legal troubles they were having. It's like, okay, what exactly is this? Because you need to define that for us so we can tell you whether or not you're exploiting these children.
Yeah, and make protections.
Labor-wise.
Yeah.
So the kids were filmed for 24 hours
a job.
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way there are so many things going back and forth with like the state of New Mexico and these parents and these kids and the production and the producers. So like these kids theoretically were being filmed 24/7. That did happen. They were being filmed all the time for the show. It was like they stayed in Bonanza City. There were crew, there were cameramen on site. They did,
like cabins.
Yeah. They like had cabins that they lived in. On site, they had medical personnel. They had a child psychologist. They had like these sort of safety nets. But it gets complicated because it's like, what are the children's role in this show? Are they actors? Because if they're actors, state law, because it was like actors could only work, child actors in New Mexico could only work X amount of hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're not actors. Perfect. Well, bottom line, children can only work X amount of hours a day, not 24. But they're like, actually, no, they aren't working. They like got around it by billing the show as like a summer camp. They're like, this is summer camp, actually, which in reality, it was run that way. It was like, you are going to stay with these kids and you're going to
yeah,
get here.
but they were being filmed.
They were being filmed.
Sold.
They were paid. The kids were paid to be on the show. I believe they each got $5,000. Like
probably
flat.
not enough. Yeah.
No. Because it's 40 days of being filmed constantly. But like, that's what the producers that's what they were leading with to get around it. And they're like, oh, this is actually, we're doing a summer camp thing. This is summer camp. It's not like a TV show.
Oh, that is slimy.
It is. And because parents were arguing, because on the last day, the parents came to like get their kids and they saw the production and they're like, they were going for takes with these kids. Like they have confessionals. It's like a reality TV show. But like the parents said they saw like the producers like stopping the show and being like, hey, can we do that again? Hey, can you basically like, can we get another take on this line? Can we get another take on this? And like the parents were arguing like, wait, doesn't that mean they're actors? Like, are they not acting? What I love about the show is it raises all the same questions of like, what is reality TV?
Right.
What is all that? But then they're just kids like
Yes.
on top of that. So just like takes everything up to an 11. So that was like, at least on the legal side, that was one of the bigger controversies or one of the bigger foibles, I guess, of the show is like what actually is happening here?
Yeah.
What are we doing with these kids?
Well, and what's interesting, I think, is that like, so this was 2007 on a major network, CBS, right?
Yes.
So, like, they had all these like legal things, and like now it only got one season, and it's pretty like it's hard to find, and all these things. This kind of thing is really coming back though. Like Mr. Beast is doing this all the time.
Yes.
This kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about Mr. Beast to know if he's really done this amount of like if it's really been kids like this, and I don't know how they film whatever. But since they're doing it on like YouTube and stuff, I'd have to like I think people can get away with stuff easier like this. Like because in 2007, well, and talking about it right now, it seems so crazy, but at the same time, I'm like people are doing this kind of thing on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, and that was part of the problem of having this be a major network. Sure, I say part of the problem. It's like, now we have to compensate these kids fairly. What a problem we have. We got to take care of them. That's not a problem. But like that was the hurdles they were going through because it was on a major network. Like companies were hesitant to put ads on the show. It wasn't super marketed because again, before it even aired, there was controversy of like, oh, what are we doing here? And because it was on a network show, they had these protections like AFTRA got involved in like this and were like, hey, are these kids actors, like are they being compensated for? But like on YouTube, it's entirely self-produced.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mr. Beast doesn't do a lot of content with children, but
Right.
he will pull out the occasional ages 1 to 100 completing this challenge. Who's gonna win? But like that's not broadcast television. There aren't safeguards in place. And I will argue the safeguards didn't really do anything on Kid Nation because they had to work around it. Like those producers were working overtime. A miracle in producing. They didn't. I have no idea how they made this happen, and that's impressive. But also, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Well, it's also interesting too because there are a fair amount of reality shows that involve kids, but it's like the 19 Kids and Counting, and like the doesn't like it's usually about a family, I guess.
Yes.
So then you have it because the parents are on the show, so the parents can sign away all these things and stuff. This I have to assume was even more interesting because the parents aren't even on site.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like you see these shows, like these children are in their homes for better or for worse. And again, we can make this argument of like and this is something we see on TikTok all the time too, of like kids are always being exploited for content.
Especially these days.
Yeah, especially these days. So, and it's entered the discourse with this show too, is like, who is to blame for this? Like, should the parents have let their kids do this? Because some of these kids, like, were relatively fine, because a lot of them have come out after the fact. Well, this was 2007.
Yeah, because I'm thinking they must be old enough now
yeah.
to be making story times and such.
Right. And when this sort of came to the zeitgeist around COVID era, because everybody was online too much, like that's when it sort of had this bigger resurgence. That's when
Is that when you got into it?
Yeah. People were reaching out, like they were doing kids were doing AMAs, they were doing interviews about their experience, and a lot of them said like it wasn't terrible, like it was bad, like it was like, but they were
Weird
like nobody died, nobody was seriously injured, no one like it was just sort of interesting what happened, and the kids were like, yeah, wait, we would do it again, but like it wasn't great. It was, again, it's like a bad summer camp. Because, like, I think what's interesting about this, too, is, like, the gamification of it. And, like, the extrapolating, what I will say, like, the making things purposely worse to create television. Because a big feature of the structure of the show is when you would do a challenge, if all 4 teams completed it, everybody would get a prize. And you get to choose between 2 things. And it's so funny because the choices would either be like clean water or like a go-kart track. And all the kids would be like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. And then like, you know, that was played for drama. But like every single week, a new prize would show up and you'd be like, oh, they didn't have that. Like week 4, one of the prizes
clean water, that is random.
Right. Like week 4, one of the prizes was like, all right, guys, you can have toothbrushes and toothpaste or more candy. And it's like, wait, they've been doing 4 weeks without any toothbrushes or toothpaste. And then like there was another one where it was like
well, because that's long-term damage.
Right, like dental I'm like, so what would have happened if the kids didn't pick that?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just raises questions. And like there was one where it's like, oh, do you guys want microwaves to help you cook or pizza party?
Yeah.
You want a pizza party? And the kids were like, oh, I don't know. And so I'm like, I'm wondering, like, again, we live in a timeline where none of this went too wrong, but like what happens if the kids didn't pick that? Like,
yeah,
like
I'm surprised there's not already some sort of like docuseries about this where the kids are doing. I'm sure one is going to happen in the next 10 years.
There's one, like there was a TV show that was like the dark side of reality TV, sort of like an episodic anthology, and they did an episode on this, but I haven't seen it. It's on Hulu with add-ons, so I was not able to get into it. But on there, they interview again some of the kids. One of the kids, DK specifically, who was a highlight of the original show, Chicago-based, by the way, because he came up. I was looking through the list of kids, and like he was from Illinois. I'm like, shout out. He did the show, and then he came back. He's now a working Chicago actor. He's been on Chicago Fire, Chicago Med. Shout out if you know you know. But like, yeah, they like interviewed it because he famously one of the famous incidents that happened in the production of this is that the kids are responsible for cooking and cleaning and like taking care of themselves. And because of that, there were like several mishaps with people consuming bleach, like because things were improperly cleaned.
I would not have even like I really thought like I knew something was going to happen. I did not expect bleach.
It was a reoccurring issue because either stuff wasn't getting cleaned properly or like one time they were like mixing drinks and somebody confused like the seltzer water with like bleach. So like this kid DK, he like consumed like a soda bleach drink, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine, like I was okay, like everything was okay, which is like perfectly the MO for the show of like, oh my god, something terrible happened to a kid, but we're like, okay, we're fine. But also it's like, what?
And like there's something to be said about how like in homes like kids accidentally drink bleach, like that is like kids do have mishaps like that all the time, but the fact that there was adults there watching and filming it and letting it happen is like insane.
Right, like because they didn't air that, like they didn't, it wasn't like part of it, but it's like, okay, could we have done something? And that's what's weird about the show too, is it's structured as a social experiment, like to see, and like that. That's what makes it a little more dubious, is that like everything was watched, everything was filmed, but it was like, well, at what point, from a creative standpoint, if I'm a cameraman on Kid Nation, my producers are telling me to get the content, but I don't know what those camera people were told. Like, at what point should you intervene? Or what point should we let this happen, you know? And it's that conversation of like, it's good entertainment if something terrible happens. But do we want that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like what level of kids being harmed are we willing to tolerate to get content?
Well, I'd say there's a similar thing. I think it's reality television as a whole loves to see people suffer and capitalize. That is the whole thing of reality television. I mean, that's why anyone watches it.
Right.
But it makes you think too, like with these cameramen, like I've been wondering, like there's that whole thing with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives this year where, you know, that woman got caught like and she's had domestic abuse. I mean, that's in the first season. She gets arrested for domestic abuse against her partner, but then it comes out, you know, that her kid was in the room and whatever. Are you familiar with this phenomenon?
Yeah.
You have to wonder, like, how many people on that production team knew that this woman does this, but they keep filming her and they're egging her on every season.
Right.
Like, it's like, how do you let that happen? And that's an adult woman, but there was kids being harmed. These are kids actively being harmed.
Right.
And then also, I wonder how this would be perceived if it wasn't filmed for reality TV, but was strictly done for science. Like if people were like, let's do an actual social experiment of Lord of the Flies and see how it affects these kids. And we're filming it for research, and maybe there'll be a documentary or something, but it's not reality TV.
I don't think it would have flown. Like no way an ethics board would approve that.
Yeah, right?
Because if you were to do this as a true scientific experiment, it'd be highly unethical. Like truly scientifically being like, we're going to put the kids. I think the only reason it went through is because it was television and was entertainment. And it wasn't specifically supposed to be an experiment per se. Like
it was
that's
just a reality
how
TV
it,
show.
Yeah, like how it ended up. Because I am more inclined to say yes to you if you're like, well, there will be adults there watching them, filming them the whole time. Like that's part of it. Whereas if you're like, oh, scientifically, I want to see what these kids will do if we just leave them in the woods.
Well, yeah, because if you're doing the scientific thing, then you're like, I mean, you're basically being like, these kids are rats.
Yeah.
And we're putting them in a maze.
Right. Which, like, just doing science on normal human experiments is near impossible. Whereas,
it's
like,
we have too much consciousness.
Yeah, we know too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just really interesting to consider. And I mean, like, it wasn't a true experiment because it was so structured. Like, as much as like these kids seem to have the illusion of choice, like it was, they were put in a very structured environment.
Yes, exactly. And they're obviously doing these takes and stuff too.
Right. And like by nature of it being reality TV, they casted very specifically. They put different people together. They put specific people in specific positions to create conflicts, like to create entertainment. And that was like another big part of it too, is like it's not good science. It's not real science, guys.
Well, and because reality TV in a way already is kind of like human zoo. It's like, because I mean, even at zoos, even though there's a little bit, and even more curated obviously in reality TV because they're choosing the takes and they're editing it. But I mean, at the zoo, you see what the zookeepers want you to see. SeaWorld, like for example, I mean, went on for, as we said earlier, went on for so long and people didn't know about the whatever, you know, the bad stuff. I'd say, though, I feel, because I like reality television, I feel better about watching like Housewives or or like Big Brother or something, because these are adults. These are people who know that like they are cognizant enough to know I can leave really easily. I can say no. I'm negotiating my contract, my labor. I'll say I'll do this and I won't do this. That is so scary that you're putting kids in this zoo because they have no idea. Like, well, they have ideas, but it's harder as a kid to go, I'm going to leave, or like I'm aware of what's happening. And as much as I think these producers are slimy, I'm also kind of like, what were these parents thinking?
Sure. Well, because that's the thing, even then, like when I look at people like the Kardashians, I don't feel too bad for them.
No.
Like when I watch their show.
And usually
like,
they're wealthy too.
Right, exactly. I'm like, you are wealthy. This is your show. Your name is on the show. You're doing this, you know, as some sort of revenue stream, as some sort of publicity. I'm like, okay. I don't feel bad when your life goes, like that is entertainment for me.
Yeah.
Like, sure. But like at no level could these kids like truly consent to this process, because it would have to be their parents that signed them up. Even if I went and I'm like, Mom, please let me do this, and everything was okay, like even then it wasn't them.
Yeah.
Also, this was an untested concept. Nobody knew what was going to happen, and it was like, oh, okay. Like that's the thing is like it's harder to watch in that sense of like, oh, like the level of enjoyment I get out of this show is because of how insane it is. And you watch and your just jaw is on the floor the whole time of like, yeah, it's like, oh, they're really doing this. I don't enjoy it at the level they intended me to enjoy it as. It's not, it's like, oh, let's see what happens and let's have these kids play games and it'll be crazy. I'm watching it and I'm like, how did you get away with this? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't watch reality TV really at all, or like competition, and I'm like, but like there's just a level to this.
And was the target audience adults or other kids? Do you think, from watching and such, and what you know about it?
I'm like, it's hard to say. I think a show like this would try to go for both. But like the question that comes in my mind is like, do kids want to watch other kids in the situation? That kind of makes sense to me. If like kids, that's the appeal of any reality like game show or competition series is like, oh, what would I do? Like, would I be able to do this? So I think like from a child perspective, that's definitely a sell. I wonder if adults were into this, like, because in the human zoo of it all, the appeal of it, and I'm like, I don't know any adult in good conscience who would delight in watching these kids suffer. Like, suffer may not be the right word, but like delight in watching these kids like struggle. Like, is that strange? Like,
yeah,
maybe there's a family angle to this of like, oh, I'm watching with my family, but like,
or like,
I don't know.
I guess, yeah, or like maybe like people who are older who like adults being like, oh, what would I have done as a kid? Maybe there's that. That's like that similar relatability, but they're thinking back. But still, I think that's odd. And like, I can't imagine parents if they're watching, especially without their kids, that parents would want to be like watching this and wonder what their kid would do. Yeah, that thing about the whole thing is that I just don't even understand the audience.
Right. It has an audience. It's hard to look away.
Well,
the dumpster fire.
You would watch it, of course. Like I even would watch it because of the dumpster fire.
For? Yeah.
But if they thought it was actually a good idea and like actually this is an interest, it's like who in their pitch, who was it for?
Right. And that's hard to say. Like I bet it was marketed as some sort of like family reality competition series off this, because like this was. There were like, it went nowhere due to the controversy, and also because it didn't perform super well. Because again, like, who is this show for? But like, they were talking like the only way we could see more of the show being made is if, like, we were circling like a writer's strike at this moment. It's like, oh, we'll need more reality programming if we can't get writers. So like, maybe there's a potential for a season 2 of this show. But like, it never. That's the thing, is it wasn't really for anybody either. Nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. And it just sort of happened, and now it's just this like kind of like gem of like, oh, this is a weird thing that existed, that we did.
And as we're nearing the end of our time here, we've got some time, but I guess I want to ask you, as someone who is you said you found this out in like 2020, and I think in 2020 I know it's been pretty big in the last few years. There had already started to be these kind of conversations about ethics of things like family vlogging and Mr. Beast and kids in media. I feel like for a long time we were just all letting it kind of happen because it was so new, and then I do feel like in COVID, at least for me, that's when I started to see more of this like, hey guys, I don't think this is okay, and people who had the kids. The first generation of these kids who were filmed are starting to get older. And that probably with Kid Nation as well, you said, like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that this, do you think that this can serve as kind of, like, is this a puzzle piece in the puzzle of what's right and what's wrong? Do you think we should be looking to this as kind of a guidepost and things like that? Like, where do you think Kid Nation's legacy lies in what's in the conversation around using kids for entertainment?
I think face value, it's a bit of a cautionary tale, and that's like part of the part I think is interesting about how it isn't very talked about, or like how, again, if I'm CBS, I'd love to bury this. Like I would love to like move on from this, and we sort of have. I think it's sort of out of the conversation because, like what you were saying, this whole idea of like family vlogging or like exploiting kids for content feels so unrelated. This is a different platform, a different age, a different context in which we see like, you know, well, this is a kid working with their parent. Like a parent will always have the best interest of their child in mind. A parent, like but like, I think Kid Nation is a great example of the most extreme version of that, a more extreme version of that we don't talk about, we don't see a lot about, and like that is a part of it is just interesting, and I think there's things to be learned from it, and I think what makes it worth talking about, and part of the reason why it's like fun to talk about it or like not terrible is like nothing did go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And again, I think that makes it all the better to be like, hey, this is the worst version of this. And what I love about it too is it's so clear. It's like really clean cut about like, oh, we can see why this is wrong. We can see immediately why using kids for content in this way is bad, or like leaving kids unsupervised in this way is bad, or like it's a really funny example of like, hey, I wonder if we did this thing, if it would go wrong, and then it went wrong in exactly the way you expected it to, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, now we know. Like, we could have seen this coming.
Yeah.
But like we decided not to. Like that sort of willful ignorance as a piece of this as well is there's a lot to be learned from putting 40 kids in the desert and watching them fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I do really think is interesting, because it is funny.
Yeah.
We are talking, I feel like we spent a lot of time talking about how bad it is, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Kid Nation, even just the name, is funny.
Yeah.
Like, it is funny that this happened. And I think, let me know what you think, because obviously, but like, I do think there is also something to say about like, well, when it was done on a network, there were, even if there wasn't enough, there were a certain amount of safeguards that we're not seeing with this completely self-produced content.
Yeah.
So maybe, even though it was bad and wrong, this is the better, like, you know?
Like, things could have been worse. Totally. And that's the thing is, too, I mean, like, yeah, we've talked a lot about, like, wasn't this crazy how they get away with this? It is funny. Like, the show is funny to watch, and, like, watching these kids, like, part of the attraction of the show, and one of the things I think is so fun about it is, like, you watch these kids like invent capitalism in front of your eyes and then realize like, wow, this is actually bad. I don't like this. And then like introduce this idea of like religious moralism into their society. And they're like, whoa, this is crazy. And like, they'll just do a cutaway of a kid being like, you know, I don't think it's very fair that the upper class gets paid so much money, but they don't do any work. Huh. And it's like really funny to watch. And then like you see as these kids, and I know we don't have enough time to get into the weeds about it. My shout out Jared is my favorite kid on Kid Nation. And there's an episode where he was on the red team who consistently did like okay, but it wasn't. It's also really funny because these kids are like aged 8 to 15. So like the blue team had like Greg, who was the oldest kid, who was like a 15-year-old in like, you would be in high school with like 8-year-olds and you're like competing in challenges of strength and wit, and it's like, it's not close. But Jared was so tired of losing, he like made his own product and he started selling it and got so rich. And it's like, oh, okay, like we've discovered how capitalism works, like in this society. Like in every single episode, they like the producers like introduce a new societal element, and like we see how the kids react in a way that's like, I see what you're trying to do here, and there's some like interesting societal reflection happening, and it's like interesting to watch this through the eyes of children who are fairly uninitiated in the ways of like why things are how they are. But I also think it's a really easy breakdown of how like systems in our society are built to like oppress and like exclude, and like how it's intentionally designed that way. We watch it happen in front of our eyes, and like this idea of like classism and another reason why I think the show is so interesting is because it has all those elements, and then also it's like, oh, you let these kids drink bleach and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, despite all like the kind of side effects of being on a reality TV show like that with the producers, I wonder if any of these kids are like really woke. Like,
I
if
hope.
they're like, I hope there's some. Maybe they're like, yeah, like there's the trauma of this part, but this part made me realize, and this, and so now I do this work. You know what I mean?
Right. It's really funny because it's also so filmed in 2007,
Right.
and these are kids just saying things they heard. Because like one of the they do like a testimony or whatever, and like one of the girls is like they're talking about electing a new city council. I think and one of the girls is like, well, George Bush isn't smart, but he was elected twice. And I'm like, you're awesome.
You go,
You're
girl.
funny.
Shoot.
I'm like, yeah, like that's
yeah,
really
I get
funny.
that is so parroting something you've heard.
Uh-huh.
Oh, awesome.
Like kids are funny, and that's like part of it, I guess.
Wow.
This makes sense to me.
That's looking like our time.
I was just looking at the watch I have. That looks correct.
Any closing thoughts on Kid Nation, PB?
If you feel up to it, give it a look, give it a read.
I know I will.
It's an interesting thing that happened in our world. And if you want to talk about it, let me know. I haven't gotten. We didn't even get to rank the characters, the children.
Shoot.
All of which are like funny and interesting and like their own.
But your
people.
top is
Jared.
Jared.
I've gotta love Jared. There's so much depth here. There's so much like complexity to it. So if you need something to do, also it's only 13 episodes, one season. So if you're bored, and I think they're half hour.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, you can watch all of it and then get back to me, because it's worth a watch. There's a lot of stuff that happens. So. And also, be kind to children. They're very smart and intelligent and wonderful. If you just give them a chance.
Exactly.
I'll respect children. Also, don't exploit them. Also, be kind to one another.
And any last words to this iteration of the Pash?
Thank you to you, Charlotte, for hosting this episode. Also for being on the show. Thank you to my listeners, especially my favorite listener. You know who you are. But all of my listeners who have allowed me to take what I consider to be a bit of a passion project and make something out of it. And I am so grateful to everyone who's responded to this in any way, shape, or form. Because I just started from an idea of like, what if we give people a chance to talk about what they care about? And I think that was something that I always cared about. And I'm glad I've found other people who at least find it somewhat interesting or like finds joy and community in that. I think that's special. And yeah, this is they're kicking me out of the studio because I'm not paying them tens of thousands of dollars to use it anymore. Sorry, college. But yeah, we will be back once I find a new place. Once I find a new house for this show.
Hey, Peyton.
Yeah.
I love you, dude.
Hey, love you too. You're a great friend.
Hey, and you too.
Whoa. Yeah, those are my assorted thoughts. In no specific order. Yeah, passion. Stay passionate. That's what I always say.
And with that, that's Passion Project.
Amen. Hey, stay cool, stay lit, stay passionate. Do some magic.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Radio DePaul is Chicago's college connection.
Finally.